Merci beaucoup.
Thank you very much. We will now go for 5-minute round. Madam DANCHO, you have the floor.
Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you to the witnesses for being with us today. Regarding the specific allegations reported in the Globe and Mail from CSIS documents that Beijing was responsible for illegal cash donations, tax receipts, and hiring campaign workers using illegal methods, as well as disinformation campaigns in the 2021 election. This information from CSIS would have been shared with our Five Eyes intelligence allies. Is that correct?
Madam Chair, as I mentioned earlier, I will not be in a position to comment specifically on these allegations, this information. What I can say, however, is that indeed CSIS and our intelligence partners do share information extensively with international partners. This foreign interference, amongst other threats, is one that is shared by many countries. The PRC specifically and other countries are engaging in foreign interference in other countries. And one of the advantage we have is having a number of countries in not only amongst the Five Eyes, but more broadly in Western Europe, in Asia, in the Middle East. We work very closely with these partners to share information, and that is one way we have to protect Canadians, is to benefit from the enriched picture here.
It was also, pardon me, it was also reported that a Consul General of Beijing took credit for the defeat of a Conservative MP in the 2021 election. Is that correct?
Madam Chair, I would unfortunately have to reiterate my answer. I cannot specifically confirm some of the information that is in the public domain in this current setting.
This has been asked, but I'll ask again. Was the Prime Minister briefed of any of this information, and when would that have been? What would have been the dates?
Madam Chair, we will be, as I in answer to the previous question, we endeavored to be able to provide information to the working with PCO to this committee in terms of what has been briefed and who has been briefed, but I'm not in a position to specifically answer the question.
Thank you, Mr. Vignon. I appreciate your service to this country, but I am surprised. Of course, you were all aware that you were coming to this committee today, and I know you all take, I'm sure, very detailed notes in your calendar. So I'm a bit surprised that that information is not readily available to committee members, as I'm sure you anticipated the questions of when the Prime Minister would or would not have been briefed by you or others in CSIS, but I would appreciate if you would provide that in short order to the committee. Thank you. To the RCMP, has CSIS shared any of this information regarding election interference with you?
Oh, yeah. Any sharing of information would have been done through the site committee. And then if it falls into the criminal space, the RCMP would investigate.
And you're not investigating?
We're not investigating any elements from the 2019 or the 2021 elections. We did not receive any actionable intelligence that would warrant us to initiate a criminal investigation.
So no charges have been laid to anyone concerning any election interference, is that correct?
No charges have been laid.
And no charges have been laid concerning the Beijing police stations illegally operating in Canada for the purpose of terrorizing Chinese Canadians? No charges have been laid in that regard either?
No, but the RCMP has taken overt action on 4 specific sites where we were present in uniform, marked vehicles to demonstrate to the community that we're taking this seriously, and we've had a positive impact on the actions that we've taken.
And that positive impact in particular, does that mean that the operations from those illegal Beijing police stations have ceased?
Our understanding is that they've ceased, and we're continuing our investigation of the ongoing. Anytime you have a representative from the embassy who's a law enforcement liaison officer comes up to us and not pleased with the actions we took, I think that's a sign that we did our job.
I appreciate your work very much in that regard. Yesterday, I believe it was shared in committee from the Deputy of Minister of Public Safety that legislative changes would need to be made, or he implied that they would need to be made for charges to be laid. Is that correct? That legislative changes would need to be made for the RCMP to lay charges. Is that correct?
When we talk about legislative changes, the RCMP operates in the criminal environment, and this is the work that Michelle alluded to earlier, my colleague, with regards to the work we do with the service. The service is in the intel business, but as the intel starts building towards a criminal offense, that's when it's shifted to the RCMP. So we work with the existing legislation that we have under the criminal code.
Thank you. Would a change to the criminal code be needed to lay charges based on the evidence that you have concerning the police stations or election interference?
We always entertain new tools under the code.
Has the Minister of Public Safety or anybody from government, the Prime Minister's office, been briefed that legislative changes would need to be made for charges to be laid?
Not to my knowledge.
None of those briefings have happened.
I'm saying not to my knowledge.
Okay, so the RCMP has not informed the Prime Minister or any of his cabinet that legislative changes are needed for charges to be laid?
The RCMP will go through public safety for any change in legislation.
Will you be pursuing any of those briefings? Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone for your feedback.
Happy birthday! A few days short.
A little bit.
A few days short, but didn't have a chance to see you on the day.
The honourable member for Kildonan, St. Paul.
Mr. Speaker, the Liberal member for Beaches East York said today in the House, quote, "I'm not convinced the emergency measures could extend. I'm not convinced the emergency measures, should extend beyond today." He said, "I would vote accordingly, but it's now a confidence vote." It would seem that the Prime Minister is strong-arming his backbench and the NDP to vote in his favour by threatening an election, Mr. Speaker. Isn't that true?
You're right on the Parliamentary Secretary. We'll go with that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I think that we all breathe a sigh of relief at the phenomenal work that was done by law enforcement to bring order and peace outside of these doors. I look forward to the vote that's going to be taking place in just a few hours to have this House affirm the powers that were needed to ensure that peace and stability and to make sure on a preventative basis that we do not see a return to that level of disorder.
The honourable member for Kildonan, St. Paul.
Mr. Speaker, the blockades have ended. Downtown Ottawa has been cleared. If there was ever a national emergency, which remains in doubt, it's over. So there is no need for the Emergencies Act vote tonight, but it would seem then that this vote tonight is about far more than the blockades and the protesters in downtown Ottawa. It would seem it's only about power. Yes. About the government having the power and setting the precedent that bank accounts of political dissidents can be frozen. Isn't that right, Mr. Speaker?
That's right. The Honourable Minister of Public Safety.
Mr. Speaker, I want to just highlight how instrumental the Emergencies Act has been in allowing us to address very effectively, but in a manner that is consistent with the Charter, the illegal blockades. And I, too, want to take a moment to express my profound gratitude, and I hope all members in the chamber will say thank you to the RCMP and all members of the law enforcement who, in a very professional, measured and restrained manner, have restored order to the streets of Ottawa and have ensured that we've made progress at our borders. Mr. Speaker, we will only use the powers of the Emergencies Act as long as necessary.
The honourable member for Louis Saint.
Hey, that's something everyone can enjoy.
Member for Kildonan, St. Paul.
This Liberal government has no credibility when it comes to protecting women. In the 9 years they've been in power, sexual assaults have increased 75%. 94 municipalities and the province of Nova Scotia have declared intimate partner violence as an epidemic. In Canada, Mr. Speaker, one woman in Peel region is strangled to death every single day, and violent abusers of women are getting let out on bail easier than ever because of the Liberal Bill C-75. There's only one party in this place that's going to protect women from the monsters who abuse them, that's going to put criminals of gun violence behind bars, and that's the Conservative Party, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, our track record on protecting women from violence, from violent firearms, speaks for itself with respect to assault rifles, with respect to handguns. What I find actually quite appalling is that party's ability to stand up and talk about what women want in this chamber. Because when today, Barbara Lavers at the Justice Committee said on Bill C-63, we must work together as communities, families, and governments to reduce the online abuse of our children. Social media platforms must be held accountable. They must help keep our children safe. Children like Harry are dying. Her son is dead because of online safety issues that party opposes. That's unconscionable.
The statistics on women speak for themselves. 75% increase of sexual assaults. 75% increase since they've been in power. Sexual violations against children up 120%. And why is this? We've heard from Status of Women Committee over and over from abused women. It's Bill C-75. These monsters are getting out on bail and killing women. That's on this Liberal government, no matter what they say. Their announcement today will not protect a single woman in this country, Mr. Speaker. When are they going to call an election so that Conservatives can get in power and do something about it?
Mr. Speaker, we're listening to women, we're listening to mothers. The Canadian Centre for Child Protection put out a promotional video about our work to combat online harms. They had the mother of Rehtaeh Parsons, the mother of Amanda Todd, the mother of Harry Burke, whom I just quoted. All three of these women share one thing in common. They desperately want this Parliament to keep Canadian children safe. We have a proposal to do exactly that by taking child pornography and child sex abuse material off of the internet. Surely, for the love of God, 338 people can agree on that priority.
Merci, à bientôt.
Merci, c'est ce qui conclut cette conférence de presse. Thank you. This concludes the press conference.
Hi, everyone. Congratulations, you're spending more money on taxes than on food, clothing, and shelter combined.
How many kids did you molest Jeffrey Epstein?
More than just elbows. These are Muslim values. These are Canadian values.
Anyhow, what are you going to do? Trying to keep you informed, Aaron Canadian Looney, trying to hit 30,000 subs. Help me get there. Thank you for watching this video. We'll catch you in the next one. Later, gang.